You've probably heard that Social Security is going broke. You may also have heard the argument that the right way to fix Social Security is to privatize it by giving everyone private accounts. Here's a recent clip from the uber-conservative PragerU explaining how this would work.
Rather than putting your money into a Social Security fund, which is controlled by politicians, what if you could deposit that money into an account assigned to you and you alone? Annual rate of return of 6%. A $5,000 a year investment will turn into $1 million in less than 40 years.
So if you think this sounds too good to be true, you're right. Private accounts won't save Social Security. Instead, they're likely to be a disaster for people's retirements. And here's why. First of all, stock markets don't tend to do this. They tend to do this. This is the S&P 500 over the last 30 years. And yes, the general trend is upward, but see those gray lines? Those are recessions. If you turned 65 in 2002, 2008, or 2022, you would have seen a lot of your savings evaporate. In fact, American families lost 20% of their wealth from 2007 to 2009 during the Great Recession, and many families still hadn't recovered 10 years later. That's reason number one private accounts won't work. You're not protected from the risk of a downturn. With Social Security, on the other hand, your payments stay the same regardless of what the economy is doing. That's the security part. The second reason private accounts won't work is that most people can't afford to save. Life is expensive. Nearly half of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, according to a survey by Bank of America. Nearly 4 in 10 Americans can't cover a $400 emergency expense, like a broken refrigerator, a flat tire, or even a speeding ticket. Moreover, Americans owe $1.1 trillion on their credit cards and $1.7 trillion in student debt. Maybe these guys can afford to put away a lot of money every month, but many average Americans can't. For a final piece of proof that private accounts won't work, let's look to the ones that already exist. They're called 401ks. Beginning in the 1980s, companies started ditching pension plans in favor of 401ks because they're a lot cheaper for companies to administer. They work great if you're rich, not so much if you're not. For people 65 and over, the median balance of a 401k in 2023 was $88,488. Not exactly the $1 million that the folks at PragerU have promised. And that's why we need Social Security. Before it existed, half of seniors lived in poverty. Today, the senior poverty rate is about 11%, which is lower than the U.S. poverty rate in general. There is, in fact, a better way to save Social Security, and that's to make rich people pay their fair share. Under current law, 6.2% of your paycheck goes to Social Security payroll taxes. Your employer kicks in too. But there's a cap on the amount of wages that are taxed. In 2025, the maximum Social Security tax anyone pays will be $10,918.20. Or to put it another way, these guys will each pay just $10,918.20 towards Social Security this year, even though Elon Musk alone got $200 billion richer in 2024. But if you increase that taxable limit, Social Security's finances would improve overnight. For example, taxing wages over $250,000 could raise as much as $1.4 trillion over 10 years. So don't believe the hype. Private accounts will kill Social Security, not save it. And the best way to fix the program is to make the billionaires do their part. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.